Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, My So-Called Healthy Life. Okay, so I'm gonna do something different today. I mean, I'm not changing my channel, so don't be like, oh, Peter's changing his channel again. But I wanted to kind of show you like what I do in the mornings, right? And my coffee is in there getting ready, and so I just went in and I pulled out all of my meditation books. Now, what I typically do is I make a cup of coffee in my Keurig, and then I take my meditation books out to the front porch. It is absolutely beautiful today. They're like mowing all the lawns in the neighborhood, so I'm just gonna sit out there and be very peaceful and just kind of get centered for the day. But typically what I do is I just go through and I just read one after the other, and I kind of pause on each one. But since we're doing that, I never read one from Sark's book, Juicy Living, Daily Morsels for Your Creative Soul. So I thought, well, we'll start with that one, and we'll just keep on going until we find one that kind of fits for the day. And if this one doesn't do it, then we'll move on to the next. And if the next one doesn't do it, then we'll move on to the next. But we're gonna stop when we find one that kind of resonates with us for the day, okay? So it is June 8th. Let's see, June 8th. I love this one, it's so like colorful, so you see the back of it, I love it. June 8th, enjoying the moment. Whatever is contained in this moment, find some layer of enjoyment. And then it says, build a fort in the moment. I'm usually able to find something to enjoy about even the most dreadful happening. Or more importantly, I enjoy the dreadful. The moment we have will never occur again, ever. So welcome it. Enjoy it, whatever it holds for you. All enjoyment lives in this moment. I'm actually going to talk about that one, I think. And then I'll save the other ones for my front porch. This whole idea of living in the moment has been something that I've been talking about a lot on my channel lately. And I think it's really, I think it's a difficult concept until like you've had some kind of life-shattering event, or you've lost somebody that's really close to you, or like you've lost a career or a best friend, or you've gone through a divorce. Because I think in those moments, you feel like lost time, or you feel like the clock is ticking. Like I remember the predominant feeling that I had after my mom passed away, like after the grief period for me, which I am probably still in, but after that predominant grief period, I think that I'm like all over the place. I haven't had my coffee yet. I think that, the main thing for me was that I felt very much like time was ticking. Like life is going by very fast. Peter, if there are things that you want to do, you better get them done now. And, if you look at my life 10 years ago before my mom passed away, it's completely different than it is today. I was working for a facility. I was in a very safe relationship prior to my mom getting sick. We broke up right before my mom got sick. I didn't really take a lot of risks. I didn't do a lot. I traveled like once a year, but I never did things that really made me happy. And out of fear a lot of times, but also just because of status quo. And I thought, life, I never really questioned life, if that makes sense. The brevity of life and the quickness of life. And then when my mom passed away, she was 64, and that's rather young. And she was rather young for her, because my mom was somebody that every day walked, every day danced in her kitchen. She loved life. She was very full of life. She had her down moments. I've talked about that on here too. But the majority of the time, she was just full of life. And so it, I think, caught all of us by surprise when she got this terminal illness and then passed away, because it was just completely unexpected. Well, that can happen to any of us, okay? And it doesn't have to just be a death in the family or a terminal illness or anything like that. It could be anything. It could be the loss of a career, or the being laid off. Like I've known so many friends of mine who have been laid off from careers they've had for years and years and years, and it stagnates them, it devastates them. And I think it's constantly living in the moment. Okay, now what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do next? And I've constantly said that when you live in the moment, you're enjoying the present. And that's why we were reading the Peace in Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. And why I talk a lot about Janis Joplin, because Janis Joplin, if you've ever heard her thing that she did an interview in Dick Cavett, and she talked about it on there, but then she also did it when at Woodstock when she was talking. And she said, you know, like, there is no such thing as the future. You know, all we have is today, basically, is what she says. She says it completely different than that. What she says is, it's all the same fucking day, man. That's what she says. And I love that quote. It's my favorite quote of all time. But, you know, like, all we have is today. That's it. That's all we're promised. You know, just today, just this moment. And for me, I also have to remember that it's the bitter and the sweet. You know, because like if I didn't have the bad times, and the good times wouldn't mean anything. And sometimes in retrospect, things like funerals, you know, crazy times, sickness, although they are incredibly sad, they are parts of life. And when I look back on them, they were times that I like collectively got together with friends and family and had some enjoyable moments. Yes, at the expense of a very sad thing happening, but those are moments in life, and I don't want to miss out on the moments of life, you know? Life is way, way too precious, and I'm not giving away a moment of my life anymore. It's just, it's too valuable to me, and I hope it's too valuable to you. So, just for today, try to live in the moment. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.